Sonia Gandhi is heading to Rajasthan tomorrow to meet farmers who've been badly hit by the recent sudden spell of rain and hail. In fact, the Congress president has been very active for the last week or so, leading from the front in reviving a Congress party whose morale has been visibly low for months now. The issue of farmers has certainly galvanized the opposition against the Modi government.
A coming together of 14 parties led by Congress President Sonia Gandhi, a dramatic march to Rashtrapati Bhavan to mark their protest against the Modi government's land acquisition bill. As Rahul Gandhi, who had originally championed the cause of the farmers, continued to be missing in action, Sonia Gandhi is back in the driver's seat, taking over the opposition's reign. Under pressure, Nitin Gadkari, who originally proposed the changes in the UPA's bill, has written to opposition leaders like Sonia Gandhi and social activists like Anna Hazare.
मैंने आज सभी विरोध करने वाले पार्टी के जो अध्यक्ष हैं उनको प्रार्थना की है कि आप खुली चर्चा करिए, चर्चा मीडिया के सामने हो और आपकी जो बात है वो हम खुलासा कर देंगे। अगर इसके बावजूद अगर हमारी कुछ बात गलत होगी तो स्वीकार करेंगे।
But the move does not seem to have placated the united opposition.
गडकरी जी का तो विभाग ही नहीं है, ये तो वीरेंद्र सिंह का विभाग है। तो गडकरी जी इसमें बहस चाह रहे हैं तो ठीक है। हो सकता है अपनी पार्टी की ओर से तो पार्टी की ओर से बहस करना चाहते हैं, सब तैयार हैं। जितनी बहस कर हम तो चाहते हैं कि पहले राष्ट्रीय बहस हो जाए। प्रोविजंस आर अगेंस्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द फार्मर्स, दोज शुड आल्सो बी ब्रॉट इनटू द पब्लिक नॉलेज।
वी आर नॉट एंटी बिजनेस, but we understand that nothing can happen if there is no balance in society between the competing interests of different components. We welcome that step, but certainly the bill in its present form is not acceptable and is directly anti-farmer.
Continuing to play up the Congress's pro-farmer image, Sonia Gandhi, accompanied by Sachin Pilot, is visiting Kota district in Rajasthan on Friday to meet farmers who are looking at losses after unseasonal rains. The land ordinance has not only brought the opposition together, it has also helped the Congress revive politically. Land is an issue that directly connects with the grassroots, and that is also what makes the job of the government in convincing all the parties to come on board even more difficult. In New Delhi with Shalikram, Shruti Ranjan Sen for NDTV.
एक प्राकृतिक आपदा किसानों के ऊपर हुई है और एक भारी क्षति देश के विभिन्न राज्यों में किसानों के साथ हुई है। प्रभावित क्षेत्रों के किसानों की सहायता हो पाए और उनको रिलीफ पहुंच पाए, इस नजरिए से उन राज्य सरकारों के साथ तालमेल बिठाकर केंद्रीय सरकार और कृषि विभाग इसमें तुरंत कदम उठा रहा है।
ये न सिर्फ किसानों के लिए चिंता है, ये पूरे राष्ट्र के लिए चिंता है, पूरे देश के लिए चिंता है। चाहे सरकार में लोग हों या विपक्ष में लोग हों, असेसमेंट जो करना है मुआवजे के लिए, वो बड़ी फेयर होनी चाहिए।
किसानों की रक्षा के लिए और हमारे देश के अंदर खेती के लिए सरकार को कुछ कदम फौरी तौर पर उठाने की जरूरत है। कर्जा माफ करवाइए, कुछ इमरजेंसी नेचर से जिसको ध्यान में लिया जाए और फौरन राहत के लिए कुछ अनाउंसमेंट किया जाए।
किसानों की जो दो समस्याएं हैं, उसमें पहली समस्या ये है, भूमि अधिग्रहण विधेयक में जो संशोधन लाया गया है, तो उसको लेकर पूरा देश का किसान काफी दुखी है। छोटा किसान है, मध्यम किसान है, तो वो बहुत ज्यादा दुखी है और वो आत्महत्या तक भी कर रहा है। केंद्र की सरकार को भी किसानों की मदद करनी चाहिए, उनकी जो फसल बर्बाद हो रही है उनको उचित मुआवजा देना चाहिए।
Well, the question is whether the Congress is now suddenly reviving under Sonia Gandhi, and whether the issue of farmers, whether it's the agrarian crisis as a result of what has been happening with the weather and with the land bill, whether that is something that's going to hurt this government, the NDA government. Also, we're just getting news, and we're trying to get you more on this, that in the Rajya Sabha currently there is a stalemate underway over the mines bill. The Congress and the left are threatening not to let that be passed in the Rajya Sabha tonight. There's a big showdown that is happening in Parliament as we speak. speak. We'll get to that in just a moment. We've got Nalin Kohli of the BJP joining us here tonight, Jaiveer, Shergill of the Congress Party, Kumar Ketkar and Tavleen Singh, our two commentators tonight. Also with us is Madhuresh Kumar, well-known activist and someone who can give us perspective on how these issues could politically impact the government. But Mr. Ketkar, to you first. Interesting, suddenly you see Sonia Gandhi becoming very active, Mr. Ketkar. Over the last week or so, we saw her leading this protest about Manmohan Singh first, the land bill march, and also she spoke in Parliament, which has been extremely rare. What do you make of that, Mr. Ketkar?
Well, you must note at which point Sonia Gandhi became active, as you keep on saying. Sonia Gandhi did not become active and was almost condemned by the media as well as by big political commentators, saying that she is in shell, she cannot rise, she is so nervous, she did not anticipate the kind of disastrous results that the Congress suffered from, and therefore suddenly her coming on the scene has been described as sudden activity, or rather surprising alert, some kind of alacrity being shown now. I think it is not Sonia Gandhi alone. In 1998, she suffered miserably in elections. In 99, again she suffered. In 2004, she came back, and she came back not because she led the front, because people were unhappy with the Shining India campaign of the BJP. Similarly, the kind of inflated campaign that Modi ran and the BJP ran, I think created false impression about the Modi government, about the BJP government. When disillusionment set in, I think Sonia Gandhi just joined that disillusionment, and now people are driving her rather than she driving the people. So it is not she who is active, it is the people who are active, and particularly in the rural sector, and that's why, she is seen to be active.
Tavleen Singh, you don't think that on the issue of farmers, this is something that the BJP itself seems to be visibly nervous about, which is why now you had amendments to the land bill that they had proposed. Clearly they felt that maybe this could backfire.
The BJP has truly mishandled this issue. The truth is that it takes a minimum under this bill of 54 months for any land acquisition. You don't hear the BJP point this out, but ask, there's no land being acquired since the law became a law, right? The truth also is that we need there are 400 million Indians that are going to move to urban centers by 2050. Everybody agrees on that. That means, the New York Times had an article the other day, that it means that it's the equivalent of building every American city in the next 35 years. Where are they going to build them? In the sky? So land acquisition for cities, for housing for the poor, for all those things is vital, and it doesn't.
Is there a perception today that the NDA government looks anti-poor and anti-farmer?
Well, yes, I think that the Prime Minister should have spoken as he did the other day, long before this happened. He made quite a strong, defense of the land acquisition bill. But, maybe because they supported it when they were in opposition, they have no leg to stand on. But Kumar Ketkar is completely living in cuckoo land if he thinks the people are encouraging her. There isn't that kind of disillusionment, Mr. Ketkar, where I go.
Quick response to that.
Well, actually, there is disillusionment set in, and you can go to rural areas and find out. It is not my perception. It is not my perception. It is not my illusion. I did not recommend Sonia Gandhi to be active. I did not expect her to be active. I think people were so angry across the country, particularly in the farming community, that Sonia felt that now is the time to come again on the street. And I think she has just responded to the people rather than she leading the people.
Okay, let me just interrupt for a moment to go across to my colleague Sandeep Phukan, who's at Parliament right now, where the Congress is playing a key role as an opposition party right now, installing the Mines and Minerals Bill in the Rajya Sabha. Sandeep, I believe there's quite a showdown that is taking place in the Rajya Sabha as we speak. Tell us more.
That's right. Right now, for the moment, Rajya Sabha has been adjourned, Nidhi. In fact, as we speak, government managers are trying to persuade the Congress that they can oppose the Mines and Minerals Bill, but they should not really obstruct its passage. Technically, Nidhi, in fact, the government has the numbers on its side. Even in Rajya Sabha, as we all know, that the government is in minority, but on this bill, they are getting support from parties like the Biju Janata Dal, AIADMK, NCP, a former Congress ally. They are supporting the they are supporting the government on this bill. So technically, the government has the numbers on its side. But what is happening is that because Congress members have come to the well of the House, they are shouting slogans. So if there is a vote, and if the left parties want to vote on this bill and they want a division by pressing the button. Now the rule says that unless the House is in order, the vote cannot take place, a division cannot take place. And that's why the government managers are trying to persuade Congress that if you have to oppose, then oppose, but at least ensure that we can vote on the bill.
Okay, very interesting there, Sandeep.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
So now the government is threatening that if that doesn't happen, we'll extend the parliament session by another week, and we will not call it off unless we pass these two bills. So there's a deadlock now as we speak.
All right, so Sandeep, thanks for that. And Nalin, I'll just take that to you that, we're seeing many things play out here at the same time. One is the Congress's aggression on the land bill. Now you're seeing what is happening in the Rajya Sabha. Do you see a more aggressive Congress today than perhaps even a month ago? You can admit that they're a more aggressive opposition.
I have a few points to make. Let's start with what Mr. Ketkar said. He said something which was fairly correct, but he probably missed the point. He said you must note the point on which Mrs. Gandhi has become very active. He's right. Where is Rahul Gandhi? There is no choice. If the leadership is confined to a family and it's basically Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, we haven't seen the vice president of the party through the entire budget session. Normally it's taken to be one of the most important sessions, if not the most important. So what's the choice? So therefore she has little choice. The second is Mr. Ketkar has another fascinating example. The people of India elected in the Congress in 2004, but the people of India are disillusioned by the Modi government. They didn't elect the Modi government in between. It's the people of India who elect. I don't know what point is Mr. Ketkar working. Now let's go to the third point that has come up in terms of the Rajya Sabha. That's a typical, if you'll pardon my expression, a kind of a, losers lost the plot kind of an attitude. So what's it? We don't have now the numbers with us because we were opposing everybody marching in the country together, everything. Everyone sees benefit in the act going through. But so let us go to the well of the House. Now that they are entitled to follow any kind of strategy they wish. They are a political entity. They have their leaderships. It's up to them to decide.
But what about the point that
now let's go to the last point, the land.
That also made that the perception of being anti-farmer today, is that what is hurting the NDA?
The only way perceptional issues can be decided are really not in discussions. They really are when you finally face the people. And every government eventually goes ahead and faces people.
But you've mishandled.
So no, I won't agree with that because we are entitled as a government in this case to its own strategy of what it would like to communicate, where and how. We may have different points of view of how a communication strategy should be. But that doesn't mean Mr. Modi is communicating. Just to finish my point, Tavleen ji.
What I think Mr. Modi is trying to say is that you haven't sold it. You haven't sold it correctly, and the flip-flops haven't helped. Let me just get Madhuresh in before I come to the Congress. Madhuresh, how is this issue, for instance, on the land bill playing out on the ground? As an activist and somebody who works there on the ground politically, what is the feedback that you get about how, who's winning the perception battle here?
I think it's really BJP is losing it, because no matter how hard they try to convey and convince that it's not anti-farmer, it's not true. And I think that way the heightened activity by the opposition and across, like in Bihar, Nitish government taking the lead, or other people in other opposition parties taking the lead, I think the perception that this is an anti-farmer bill, that has grown in terms. And also I think in the last 9 months, 8 months nearly, we can see that people are feeling that this government is only interested in doing things for the companies. Make in India campaign, they are trying to do various things, make or change all the laws, environmental laws, mines law, coal law, land law, everything. But nothing has been done till date for the farmers. And the only one good thing, 2013, that has been completely changed. So I think it's not about perception. I think it's the clear thing is that this is an anti-farmer bill. 2007 is the time when Congress was forced to respond to the Nandigram issue. Nandigram, Singur, Kalinganagar and all of it. And today again we are back to square one from where we started in 1894. And we have not given a year to settle down this law which was there. And I think it's completely very unfortunate. So no matter how hard BJP is trying inside, outside, the perceptions are not going to change. That it's not an
so you're saying they're losing the perception battle in rural India. Nalin, I'll take that back to you and then get to the Congress on the issue of Sonia Gandhi. Yeah.
In the first case is that where will the infrastructure come from, whether it's rural areas. Two, the perceptional battle would change. In another sense, if you deliver roads, you deliver houses, you deliver irrigation in the rural areas, and you can't do it without land. And 3, of course, then the Congress party,
then you're also facing
and
an
the Congress
election in Bihar,
party
which
chief
is really
ministers,
important.
the chief ministers, but you can't also hold up the development of the country only at
Elections
political,
often do.
You
political
They
layer.
haven't sold it
So the last is
properly.
the chief ministers of Congress ruled state. Of course, they were pro-poor when they opposed the earlier act in the when the government took it up with everyone. So these are viewpoints that everyone is entitled to have. We don't accept that viewpoint, but that doesn't mean we would say, and we would be there to present our case consistently. We believe it's certainly not because of the 13 exclusions that were there earlier. We have removed the exclusions. We've in fact added 8.
Okay, let me just
I'm sorry, added 5, taken it to 8.
Jaiveer, just on this question of how, the Congress has then therefore latched on to these issues and suddenly seems to have found life back in the last few days at least. Would you concede that, frankly, all of you all looked happier with Sonia Gandhi leading that march and nobody seems to miss Rahul Gandhi, frankly? I know that's a difficult question for you to answer, but I'll still put it out there.
Nidhi, I want to make 2 points. First, the rationale behind this approach of the Congress party as far as this farmers' issues is concerned, and second, the points raised by the BJP spokesperson. Firstly, there is no element of sudden or surprise or a change in the approach. History is witness to the fact in the recent past, especially the last 10 years, Congress party led by Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi has always stood by the farmers, whether it's the historic waiver of loan, whether it's the astronomical increase in the MSP to the tune of 111% and 112% in MSP in wheat and paddy, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi's gumption which led to change in the draconian law of 1894. So there is nothing sudden. This entire approach is to wake up the government which appears to be sleeping in a slumber or suffering from
But Jaiveer, you have to admit it is the Congress that has seemed to be in a slumber for all these months until now. Suddenly in the last 7 days, there is something that is different and Sonia Gandhi is leading the way.
Maybe
it's not Rahul Gandhi. Maybe you don't need him to lead the way.
That is why I counted only a few instances where Congress party led by Mrs. Gandhi has worked towards the interest of the farmers, always held the hand of the farmers and the laborers. Number 2, the BJP spokesperson, rather than stressing their nerves on the whereabouts of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, should answer how they're tackling with the 12 affected states due to the untimely rain, to the shortage of urea, to the fall in the MSP, to the no declaration of bonus on MSP. So, don't worry about where Mr. Gandhi is. Answer to the farmers, why this sudden flip-flop? There was a political unanimity when the law was passed in 2013. What is the reason? Third, the most important fact, there is an erroneous presumption that the growth infrastructure is related to snatching the land of the farmers. One stat, 67 projects are held up today worth 4 lakh crore. Only 7 projects are held because of acquisition. Ratio is 87% to 13%. Please utilize the surplus land. Why this eagerness and anxiety to snatch the land of the farmers when there are other viable alternatives? So they should hunker down, give a thought to this entire thing, and rather than worrying about whereabouts of Mr. Gandhi, every worker leading in this protest represents the voice of Congress, voice of Mr. Gandhi.
But Jaiveer, you're not answering the question. Is ultimately Sonia Gandhi...
We are not worried about Rahul Gandhi's whereabouts.
I'm asking
he may or may not be in politics. Why should we be worried?
But ultimately, is the Congress sort of reviving under her rather than him? Are you a much more divided house as the party with Rahul Gandhi around?
A statement of fact is not a worry.
We are very much united under the leadership of Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Just because he's taken a leave of absence, which he is fully entitled to, does not mean that Congress is more happy or there's an element of unhappiness in a certain section. We are carrying his fight behind the land bill, which led to the overturning of the draconian law, which BJP wants to revive. And if leave of absence is such an issue,
bill and he's not
where
here.
was
That's
Mr.
the
Modi
point.
when there was a... Let me complete. Where was Mr. Modi when hobnobbing in rallies in Maharashtra and Haryana when soldiers were dying at the border?
What is this?
Actually, with all due respect, hold on, I need to make a point. This is puerile and I'm going to say it as bluntly. Please, 1 minute, sir, I didn't interrupt you. Mr. Shergill, if you don't, Mr. Shergill, may I request you to show the same patience that I did, and you did also earlier. Let me finish my point. I'm just going straight away into this. First, and I'm repeating, a statement of fact is not a worry. And I think Mr. Shergill is fooling himself, you'll excuse me for the language, that if you believe that the BJP is worried with Mr. Rahul Gandhi's presence or not, it is for you to decide whoever it is to be. We are not going to dictate who's going to be the Prime Minister of India, people will, and we are not going to dictate either whether somebody should lead your party or not. It's none of our business. We are pointing out his lack of presence and we see it as a coincidence. That's our viewpoint. Second is what you call the draconian law, then perhaps a tutorial for your own chief ministers would have been a good starting point. They found the earlier act to be draconian, passed by, as you're giving full credit to Mr. Rahul Gandhi and to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, and they found that changes were required. And the third is about talking about cities, and you're talking about trying to snatch land. Well, I mean, if you're going to, as you call it, snatch land, where are the roads in rural areas going to come from?
You all also supported the Congress in its original law, which is where the problem stems from.
Mr. Kohli, let me rebut.
One second, Jaiveer, give me a second.
Give me going on about soldiers and God knows what.
One second. Give everyone a chance to speak.
Stop Congress, BJP.
Yeah, Tavleen first, yeah.
Now,
I have a question for Nalin.
Yeah, sure. 1 second, Madhuresh.
The facts are the following. India needs cities. India needs to create jobs. We need to create 12 million jobs a year, right? There are factories. The people that are marching up Raisina Hill with Sonia Gandhi, it was the CPM government that was in charge when the Singur thing happened, right? The chief ministers, as Nalin rightly pointed out, have said we can't acquire any land. You can't build those roads.
But the point is, it's still a political issue.
It's not about taking away the land from snatching land.
There are arguments for and against the land bill. But the point is that today is that perception battle when it comes to farmers' issues being lost by the BJP.
I think in the media, because the BJP has handled the media very badly. But you're not seeing big farmers' agitations. I mean, you're seeing activists who are mostly urban.
I don't think it's only about
where are the agitations? Where is the anger?
Madhuresh disagrees.
Where is the anger?
This is a much more, I think it's a much more deep-seated anger in rural India today. Rather, it's not just a media battle. That's what you're saying.
It's much more deep-seated anger. There has been no response from the BJP on the farmers issue.
No, sorry, Madhuresh, go ahead. Yeah.
I would only like to ask Nalin that 2013 Act, in 1 year, in which states? You have now government in 9 states. Where did you even try implementing the law? So the perception that the housing, infrastructure, everything is stuck because of 2013 law is wrong. At no place in the country, forget about BJP, any government has tried implementing the law. So where is the question of saying that this bill is, this act is actually holding up everything? Please educate us.
Let me answer that.
First is, you have not tried using 2013 Act.
Mr. Madhuresh, you asked a question. Let's make it clear.
I think Madhuresh's point also is that it's much more than a perception problem, Nalin. That is what the Congress is seizing on, as Kumar Ketkar said.
The Congress is entitled, and every political party is entitled to, in their own perception, pick up any issue they would like to support of this, and that is not our concern. It's none of our business.
You don't see a difference in the Congress in the last 1 week?
Well, I see a major difference. Because after glorious inactivity by the leadership, at least the leadership which wanted to crown... 1 minute, hold on. They wanted to crown somebody who's not even available for the crowning. So obviously, Mrs. Gandhi probably has to lead it. Somebody has to lead the party. So let's go back. But that's their problem. Let's go back to the point that Madhuresh ji was raising. Coming back on it absolutely specifically, where was the land acquired? And the problem being spoken is that land couldn't be acquired. And therefore nothing could take place. You are now talking about the next step, which is saying what is stuck.
There was no even attempt
if there is movement.
Please cite an
and
example.
The second part.
Did you try taking consent, 70% consent?
Okay, let me give you a counter argument. Parliament works with 50. No, Parliament, the people's representatives work with 51%. But you had 70.
This is not a debate on the land bill.
There can be an improvement in a law. The Constitution of India has changed more than 100 times. This is not a debate on the land bill, gentlemen. So there can be an improvement.
We just have 3 minutes left. Kumar Ketkar, the point is, politically, does this indicate to you that Rahul Gandhi's elevation then in the Congress, which was widely expected to happen in April, is now going to get put off? That Sonia Gandhi has in effect declared that she is going to take charge of the party, at least for now?
Well, that seems to be the obvious inference, and it would have been definitely a big game changer within the party and within politics if Rahul Gandhi was to lead this agitation instead of Sonia Gandhi. Why it did not happen, I cannot say. But the point is, if Rahul Gandhi was on the scene and if he had led the morcha, if he had gone to the president with all these 14 parties, it would have definitely made a big difference. But I am not interested in that.
Narendra Kohli was absolutely right as far as the so-called disillusionment is concerned. He mentioned 2014 vis-a-vis 2004, but actually people were disillusioned and fatigued with the Congress government, the UPA government, and that's why Modi government came. And not only because of the so-called Modi wave and Modi magic, it was more anti-UPA wave. And third point, did I hear correctly when Tauleen said that BJP mishandled media? I mean, BJP has been handling and so effectively and so efficiently the media so well that they came to power because of the media handling, and suddenly she says media has been mishandled. I don't believe that. And finally, only small point, perceptions are not in abstract, perceptions are based on reality. It is not some kind of perceptual battle through television screens. Perceptions are based on reality, and the reality is that the farming community is in anger mood, and that angry mood is reflected, and perhaps Congress got it and joined.
To both, but let Jaiveer make the point that he wants to before I give you guys the closing arguments. Yes, Jaiveer.
Nidhi, two quick points. Number one, it's not only a perception. Factually, statistically, the ground reality speaks. BJP's every decision has been anti-farmer for landless labourers. Number two, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is very much on the scene. It is his assumption which led to the enactment of 2013.
How can you say he's on the
every
scene? I
party
mean, that's
worker.
a blurred statement to make.
Invisible man.
Yeah, I mean,
Nidhi,
he's not on the
Nidhi,
scene.
it's not
He can't be seen.
He is the reason why 2013 law came into place at the very first place. A law which could not be changed by successive governments, he changed that law. So it will be very unfair to say because of weeks leave of absence to say that he is not leading the movement. It is his movement which led to the law which now BJP is trying to kill by spirit and soul. And thirdly, my honest advice to Mr. Kohli is, my honest advice to Mr. Kohli, sometimes it is fair. Please convince your allies first before issuing sermons to Congress parties. Please wake up to the reality. Nobody is with you on this. Even the RSS, their beloved RSS, farmers organizations are protesting against this. So first get your own house in order, then issue sermons on how Congress should conduct itself, what leaders should lead the protest.
One quick statement. First is, of course, I'm not into professing advice. The Congress party can advise as many people they want, start internally. To say that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is all around is almost inspired from the Phantom series comics, The Ghost Who Walks. We don't see him, we don't hear him, we don't know where he is, but he's around everywhere. So that's really the Ghost Who Walks.
Like Mr.
And then, no, let me finish my point. I didn't interrupt you. No, just because it's Rahul Gandhi, don't get so nervous. I understand that you have a problem there. Now let's go finally to Mr. Ketkar. I compliment him for his consistency. He consistently holds on to the same argument. I don't agree with it. The nation neither agreed with it. He looks at the election result in one way. We will look at it another way, and thankfully a lot of people in India also see it the same way. And the final point is, of course, in terms of the land bill or other things, the government will do its job. The government is to do its work.
It's a perception battle. Certainly a perception battle. It will be interesting to see how long the Congress can also sustain its opposition to these issues, and whether this actually leads to a genuine revival of the Congress party. It's a very tough road ahead for them.